Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series here on iRacing at Richmond International Raceway. We saw a great race there this weekend, and now we're getting ready for another one here tonight as we get ready for 140 laps around Richmond International Raceway. So far we see Sharon Hill at the top of the leaderboards. We got about 3 minutes left to practice here. Eddie Morris currently sits back in second. Devin Butchno, Brett Merle, and David Wright round out your top five as we take a look at your points coming into tonight. We see Devin Butchno at the top of the leaderboard. Eddie Morris in second. Riley Gomes, Ryan Gomes, and D. Wright, your top five. We see Sharon Hill back in 11th. He is locked into the playoffs with a win. Joseph Wright, David Hartney, Matthew Allen, Trey Spears, Taylor Powers, and Ryan Likens, your top 12 there. And a couple drivers on the outside looking in. We got a couple part-timers too on the outside. So unfortunately they're not going to be able to race for a championship, but a lot of them are still having fun out here and doing a little trophy hunting as we've got just a few races left until the playoffs. We are halfway through the season, starting the back half of the playoffs now. As this week we take on Richmond. Next week we go road course racing at Watkins Glen. Then we move on to Rockingham for our throwback weekend. New Hampshire, and then round out the season at Texas. Then we move on to the round of 12, Darlington, Talladega. Round of 8, Bristol and Kansas. And then finish off the season at Las Vegas. So it's going to be a great rest of the season as we have just a few minutes left here in practice, about a minute and a half. We'll see Eddie Morris go for a spin off of turn number 4. We'll see that, I think we'll see that a little bit here tonight, as this track is really tricky off of turn number 4. Let's take a look at the track conditions. We see cool temp and cool track, 73 degrees at this night race here tonight. 77-degree track temperature, so these guys will have plenty of grip, but the track itself has a lot of character. It eats tires, and we'll see tonight just how much these drivers struggle around this 3/4 mile racetrack. Of course, I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you joining us here. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. As we have about 30 seconds left here in practice. See who else is out there making some laps right now. We see the 2:14 of Ryan Likens, currently 10th quickest on the leaderboard. With 10 seconds left here. We see some side-by-side little practice racing here between Sharon Hill up on the high side. You got David right down on the low side. Kevin Graham right here in the mix as well as the checkered flag flies. And as you can see, this is a home race for Sharon Hill as he finds his home in Richmond, Virginia, as we get ready for qualifying to start. We'll see who our first driver is to make their way out onto the racetrack. And it looks like it's going to be Sharon pulling off the pit road first. Being a night race, cloud cover, sun is not going to come into play like we've seen some of the other races this season where drivers are waiting to make their way out onto the racetrack to let the track cool off a little bit. Sharon comes off of turn number 2 down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Trying to keep it pinned right down on that yellow line. And turn 4 is tricky, and this straightaway can be tricky as well. You want to get right down to that yellow line down through turns 1 and 2. Use as much as the racetrack as you can coming down towards turn number 3. as they come off, or as he comes off of turn number 4. He is going to go a little slower on his second lap. So his first lap was a 21:54. Currently puts him on the pole. Here comes Brett Merle coming off of turn number 4, right down to the stripe. And Merle is going to currently be 6th fastest as Trey Spears jumps up to the top spot. David Hartney falling back into 5th. And here's the 14 of Tim Lakins off of turn number 2 on his second lap, currently in the 8th position. Down into turn number 3. And down to the stripe, and Tim Lakins is going to move up into the 6th spot. You see Kevin Graham just coming across the stripe to start his second lap. Down the backstretch and into turn number 3. And across the stripe, and Kevin Graham is going to move up into the 9th position. Here's Brian Merle Jr. in an all-black truck. I don't know if he has made a mistake putting his paint job on or what. See if I can reset the paints here and get a different paint job on that truck or not. Comes across the stripe to start his second lap. Currently 11th quickest. Let's see what he does here on his second lap. Now he's got an all-black truck, no numbers. I think he made a mistake putting his paint on tonight. Comes across the stripe and currently up into the 4th position. Ryan Likens coming off of turn number 4. And he is going to go 9th quickest. D. Wright makes his laps. We're going to mute ourselves here for a moment. We'll be right back with you. All right, I just wanted to double check there. Apparently the deal came together just a few hours ago that Brian Merle Jr. was going to be in the race here tonight, and that's why he has no sponsorship or numbers on that truck. So we'll know it's him because he'll have the character unlocked truck here tonight. As Devin Buccino has now gone to the top of the leaderboard. And D. Wright moves up in the 6th as we have about 5 minutes of practice left and 2 drivers left to make their way out onto the racetrack. So while we've got a moment, we're going to take this time to thank you again for coming out here tonight. And let's talk about our great partners here tonight, including our series sponsor. That's us at Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel. If you're a race team looking for some apparel, check us out at intensityracing.com. You can get yourself some apparel for your team. Get a quote today. Also, don't want to forget about our great partners over at Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com. And, of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. So we've got another driver out onto the racetrack. And that is the 51 of Zachary Cox. Making his way down into turn number 3. Didn't get any practice in, so these are his first laps out on the racetrack here tonight. First lap puts him up into the 15th position. Another one who this would be a home race for, living in Portsmouth, Virginia. Got quite a few drivers who consider this track a home track here tonight. As Zachary comes across the stripe, he's going to currently stay in that 15th position. Just 2 drivers left, actually just 1 driver left to qualify. That is Riley Gomes, as we have about 3 minutes left here in qualifying. Tomorrow night, the SCSRA Dev Sports Cards Next Gen Series will be taking on Richmond as well. So you want to tune into that one, you can find that one on the SCSRA YouTube page. Guy Bracco will have the call for that one. As Riley Gomes makes his way down on the apron onto the racetrack for his qualifying attempt with about 2.5 minutes left here in the event. Across the stripe takes the green flag on his first of 2 laps. Not able to get that all the way down to that yellow line, so this one's going to be a bit of a throwaway lap for him. We'll see how he hits turns 3 and 4, tries to keep that speed up through turn 3 and 4 to get a good run here off of 4 to start his money lap. And like a pretty good exit for him as he moves up into the 12th position. This time gets it woed down, he gets right down next to that yellow line off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch towards turn number 3, heavy on the brakes down to the yellow stripe. Off of turn number 4, try to get everything he can to the stripe. And Riley Gomes is going to put down a good lap, move him up into the 6th position with a 21.70. Now looks like the only driver left to qualify would be the 41 of Chuck Balance. Looks like he made 1 lap and lost control, and now he finds himself in the garage getting that thing fixed up before we go get ready to go racing here. Try to get our numbers to look right on the screen as we have about 45 seconds before we get gridding here tonight. I will take a look at the track information. That's it right there. D-shaped oval, just under 3/4 of a mile. Pretty flat little track, especially on the straightaway, front stretch, which isn't really a straightaway because it's D-shaped. But it makes for the racing to be incredibly racy here off of turn number 4. Not a lot of grip off the corners here tonight, so watch for wheel spin for these drivers as they make their way around the track and try to get off the corners to get the launch down the straightaways. Passing is going to be a premium here tonight, so watch for passing to happen while the tires are new. And we get ready as we have about... Oh, take that back. We are going to grid up right now. So let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And starting on pole with a 21.492 is the 68 of Devin Bucciano. Trey Spears in the 3 will roll off from 2nd. Then Sharon Hill in the 05 rolls off from the 3rd spot with Eddie Morris from the 4th position. Again, Sharon Hill, this is a home race for him. Brian Merrill Jr. is going to roll off in 5th with Riley Gomes from the 6th spot. David Wright and Michael Provolt make up row number 4. Then David Hartney and Tim Likens round out your top 10. Ryan Gomes and Ryan Likens going to make up row number 6. Row 7 will be Matt Allen and Kevin Graham. Brett Merle and Zachary Cox. Zachary Cox making this a home race for him as well here tonight from the 16th position. And riding out the field is the 41 of Charles Balance. As the field gets lined up right here at the start-finish line. Looks like the pace car is getting ready to pull away. And we'll get ready for 140 laps here from Richmond International Raceway. Stage tonight is going to be lap number 35. These drivers should be able to make it to the stage break without an issue here tonight. And we're going to go 2 laps around before we get racing underway. These drivers a little bit of an extra moment to get all their brake biases and everything where they need it to be. So we've got great views here from the static cameras here on the walls. Already you see that rubber building up on the outside that carried over from qualifying. So the track's going to have a little bit of rubber in it as they make their way into the corners for the first time. Here we go, pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. We get ready to go. Green flag racing. Green flag flies as they come down across the stripe and down into turn number 1. Devin Butchino down to the inside. Eddie Morris way up the track just behind. We get that truck back under control as we see that black no numbered vehicle of Brian Merrill Jr. making his way underneath the 9 of Riley Gomes. And oh, Dave Wright goes around already. Caution is out. That's Ryan Likens caught up in this as well. It looks like Chuck Balance got a little piece of it. And as we work lap number 1, that is going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. You see Dave Wright down on the low side. Just loses it all by himself trying to get on the gas. Makes a little contact there with Mike Provost. Looks like Provost got up into the wall just a little bit. Ryan Likens trying to get Woe down. Locks up the brakes. Makes slight contact with the outside wall. And then looks like Chuck Balance may have gotten turned from behind. Let's see if we can see what happened to Chucky here. Whether he was tagged from behind or just too much rear brake. Yeah, tries not to run over the 88 of Kevin Graham. Just locks up the rear tires and catches the inside wall. Let's see Zach Cox able to avoid it. So on our first lap, we get our first caution. Couple drivers making their way down on the pit road. Just looks like they're getting a little bit of damage fixed up here. You see Mike Provost on pit road. We saw Chuck Balance just leaving pit road. Doesn't look like too much damage either one of those machines. Same with Ryan Likens and Dave Wright. Dave Wright actually making his way back down pit road. Maybe trying to get a little bit more of that damage fixed up. Doesn't look like there's too much damage to that machine. Looks like the back bumper is bent up a little bit. But other than that, looks like the car is in, the truck is in okay shape. Of course, aerodynamics really don't mean anything here. So I'm trying to get as much damage fixed up as he can. He's going to lose, he's not going to lose a lap here. He's going to be staying on the same lap. Looks like Devin Butchino is going to take the outside lane on this restart. Going to put Trey Spears down on the inside. And looks like David Wright is down and away rolling. Yeah, he is, so he is not going to lose a lap. He's going to start in the rear of the field. Field makes their way down the backstretch here. Pace car getting ready to take the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Field makes their way off of turn number 4 through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And a great jump for Devin Butchino. Coming down into turn number 1. Side-by-side battle with Trey Spears and Eddie Morris for the second position. You see Riley Gomes in that 9 machine trying to follow through as well. Eddie trying to make the move around the high side. And he will take that position away. And here comes Spears trying to take a look back down to the inside as they come off of turn number 2, and Eddie gets a great launch there off of turn 2 and down into turn number 3. A little further back, we got a battle back here between Ryan Gomes and Brett Merle. He's got a little different paint job here tonight, running the White Cat machine. So a White Cat 5.5. With Zachary Cox trying to make his way up through the field, already up 4 spots. And take a look down to the inside. Trying to take that position back away. Here's another battle as Riley Gomes is down to the inside of Trey Spears as they go down into turn number 3. Ooh, issues for Chuck Balance. Loses it all by himself. Fortunately, not going to interfere with the race as Trey Spears comes across the nose of Riley Gomes, and he's able to hold on to that 3rd position. Sharn Hill, Richmond native, right there on the back bumper, trying to move himself forward. Lost 2 positions on the start, fell back to 5th. But he's looking for the long run here as we are working lap 11. Just 25 laps from the stage as we have a side-by-side battle between Trey Spears and Riley Gomes. Oh, David Hartney into the outside wall. We saw Riley Gomes make contact with the outside wall as well. Allowed Trey Spears to get back in front. Doesn't look like too much damage or any damage to the 9 with a great crossover here from Gomes down into turn number 1. He's going to pull a slide job there and take over that 3rd position. So Riley Gomes up 3 spots into 3rd. A little further back, battle here with the Merle brothers and David Hartney. As Brian Merle Jr. looking down to the inside of David Hartney, trying to take that position away. Hartney's going to be able to fire off on that high side and hold on to that 7th position for now. As Merle gets a little loose there off of turn number 4, has to tuck back in line, and now Brett going to make a move down to the inside of his brother. And move the 11 of Brett Merle up into the 8th position. Junior, though, fighting back hard on that high side as they go side by side, door to door off of turn number 4 and across the stripe into turn number 1. We see Matt Allen right behind, watching this hap unfold in front of him. try to make a move down to the inside of Brett Merle, just not able to make that work. Meanwhile, up in front, we missed the pass for the lead as Eddie Morris has now gone around Devin Butchino to take the lead of the race. Let's go back and watch this one take place as Devin moves up the track, allows Eddie to go right down underneath. Pretty textbook pass. Butchino noticing that Eddie has a little bit more speed in the truck right now. So move Eddie up to the point. We'll battle back here as we see Ryan Lakins and Kevin Graham battling it out here. This is a battle for the 13th position. Ryan involved in that lap 1 incident. Doesn't look like he had too much damage. So he's just trying to work his way back through the field. Same with Dave Wright. As Ryan Lakins able to move around Kevin Graham and move him up into the 13th position. Meanwhile, the battle is starting to heat up here between Matt Allen and Brett Merle Jr. Brett Merle. David Wright's going to make a move down to the inside of Kevin Graham. Put D Wright back up into the 14th position as he tries to work his way back through the field. Here comes Kevin Graham, though, taking a look down to the inside of David Wright, trying to take that position back, but Wright's going to be a little strong there off the corner and move him solidly around. Brian Merle Jr., David Hartney battling side by side as Brian Merle Jr. is going to move up into the 7th position. Meanwhile, Eddie Morris continues to lead by over a half second over his teammate, Devin Butchino. A battle now heating up here between Brian Merle Jr. and Tim Likens. This is a battle for the 6th spot. Junior is now going to pull a crossover here down to the inside of Tim Likens. Likens, though, trying to hold on to that spot up on the high side. As Junior makes another run at it down into turn number 1. The high side right now, though, prevailing. As Likens able to hold on to that spot. Now does Junior try to make an adjustment, move up to the high side to make a pass. More issues for David Wright. Able to hold on to it. Let's see what happened to D Wright here down on the low side. Trying to make a move down underneath Ryan Lakes. Ooh, some contact there. Amazing that wasn't a caution, but great save for both Ryan Likens and David Wright there. As David Wright's struggles continue. About 5 laps away when they cross the stripe this time from the stage break. Eddie Morris catching some lap traffic. He's got Charles Balance right in front of him. Devin Butchino also starting to reel that 8 machine back in. There we go. We have just 5 laps left in the stage. Further back in the pack, Ryan Gomes and Zachary Cox. This is a battle for the 11th position. Cox inside Gomes as they come off of turn number 4. But Gomes able to fend off Cox for now, as Brett Merle now side by side with Matt Allen. This is a battle for the 8th position. Trey Spears and Sharn Hill now battling it out. This is a battle for the 4th position. Hill up on the high side, Spears down on the low side. As they drag race down the front stretch, we have just one more lap here to go in the stage. These two are battling it out for one more point. As Eddie Morris is going to come across the stripe. I'll take that back. This will be the final lap of the stage as Eddie Morris trapped behind the lap truck of Charles Balance. That's going to allow Devin Butchino to pull right up there, but as they come across the stripe, Eddie Morris is going to be your stage winner. Devin Butchino second, Riley Gomes back in third, Trey Spears 4th, Sharn Hill back in 5th, Tim Lake in 6th, Brian Merle Jr. in 7th, Brett Merle in 8th, Matt Allen 9th, and Ryan Gomes gets your final stage point here tonight at Richmond. As Eddie Morris makes his way around, he's going to catch up to the pace car. We'll talk to him after pit stops. The SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series is brought to you by Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel. Check us out at IntensityRacing.com for all your apparel needs and your broadcasting needs. You can check us all out there at IntensityRacing.com. Here comes the entire field down to pit road. Make the long trip down pit road. Eddie Morris first into his pit stall. Have to see who is able to get off pit road first. Looks like everybody taking 4 tires and fuel. Eddie Morris is the first to roll. He will be the first off pit road. Devin Butchino second, Riley Gomes third, Trey Spears, Sharn Hill, Tim Likens, Brian Merle Jr., Brett Merle, Matt Allen, Zach Cox, Ryan Gomes, Kevin Graham. As Chuck Balance comes off pit road, but it looks like a few other drivers. David Hartney coming off pit road looking to get some damage fixed. And not sure what happened to Eddie Morris here as he is stopped back. Drop it back to the end of the line. Let's move him down here real quick. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Hang on, I got to turn you on. There you are. Man,
what's up, brother?
Great job getting the stage win there, showing some speed. Got caught up behind the lap traffic for a minute, though. And then it looks like did you speed on pit road? Because it looks like you're falling back to the back of the pack here.
Yeah, got to drop to the end. So trying to win that race off pit road. Dev's got that number 1 pit box. They're just trying to maximize everything. Still have 100 laps of this race to go, so I'd like to have stayed up front. Maybe, not have been so greedy, and if I did come off P2, that would have been way better than P16. But yeah, live and learn, right? I'm locked into the trucks, so stage win. Get to carry that. Yeah, so far so good. Let's go. This truck's fast, man. Had plenty of tire left at the end of that run. So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, man, good luck. I'm going to get you back up to your teammates. Good luck here. Have fun in that restart zone, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks, brother.
So that was Eddie Morris, your stage winner, as Devin Butchino makes his way to the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. We are back racing. As Devin Butchino gets a great jump there on Riley Gomes down into turn number 1. Sharon Hill trying to fight off on that high side. He's going to get around Trey Spears here on the restart. Spears is going to fall back into the 4th spot. And we've seen what cold tires can do. They can move you forward, or as we saw with David Wright earlier, they can get you to the back. And just like that, Riley Gomes goes for a spin down through the grass off the racing surface, so no caution. Eddie Morris also having some issues there, and looks like Eddie Morris has also spun it down here to the infield. But we stay green, so Eddie Morris falls all the way back. Take another look here to see what happened to Eddie Morris here. I don't know if that was just a check. No, Eddie did the same thing. Got on the gas, just slid it to the inside. So 3 trucks we've seen tonight on cold tires do that. First it was David Wright. Then it was Riley Gomes and Eddie Morris at the exact same time. But we stay green. That's just going to put Eddie Morris even further back in the hole. And he's hoping for a caution to come out and put himself in a position where he can get back up to the field. Tim Likens and Brett Merle battling side by side down into turn number 1. Oh, Brett hard into the inside wall. This should bring out the caution. It does. Ryan Gomes gets collected as well. This is the break that both Riley and Eddie were looking for, as that's going to bring up our second wreckage rewind of the night. We'll take a look at this one from the blimp here so we can see what happened behind as well. And as they make their way off the corner, Likens got really loose, came down into Brett. 2 of them go for a slide down to the inside. It looks like Tim Likens just comes back up across the track. Yeah, Ryan had nowhere to go. Misses the 14. So doesn't Kevin Graham. Just catches the outside wall a little bit. And it looks like just barely catches that inside wall. Does the Cat 5.5 of Ryan Gomes. So especially for a couple of those drivers escaping what could have been much worse. See Eddie Morris also back down on pit road. Don't know if he had any damage or just getting new tires after sliding them. David Wright on pit road getting some damage fixed up. There goes Ryan Gomes rolling as well. Tim Likens on pit road. Brett Merle, we saw him reset, so he got towed, and there's Tim Likens coming off of pit road. So a few drivers caught up in that one. Excuse me, as we work our 3rd caution of the night, 2nd one for incident. Trying to drink some water, and my water bottle leaked all over me, so that's what happened right there. But you gotta stay hydrated. Devin Butchino getting ready to restart from the front row. Looks like he's going to choose that high lane yet again. That's going to put Sharon Hill, hometown favorite, down on the low side. Trey Spears and Brian Merle Jr. are going to roll off from position number 2. Then Matt Allen and Zachary Cox. I don't know if Brett Merle just beat the pace car off or not. Looked like it was awfully close. Kevin Graham to the inside of Ryan Likens back in row number 4. Then Chuck Balance and David Hartney back in row number 5. So Brett making his way back around the racetrack, and Devin Butchino leads the field back to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Another great restart as we already see drivers going 2 and 3 wide down into turn number 1. Looked like Trey Spears was trying to make a move down to the inside. He was not successful at doing that. Brian Merle Jr. now up into the 3rd spot, but Trey Spears wants that position as he's going to look down to the inside of that all-black machine off of turn number 4. And Junior's got a fast truck right now, but Trey Spears drives it down, overdrives it, almost comes up into the unlocked character truck. And oh, Zachary Cox gets some contact from behind. He gets out of shape down into turn number 3. Eddie Morris back up into the mix as he's trying to work around Cox. Eddie down into turn number 1 to the outside of Kevin Graham. He's going to look down to the inside as Riley Gomes goes down to the inside of Cox. Eddie Morris able to get around Kevin Graham, so move Eddie Morris up into the 7th position. We come off of turn number 4. Oh, and Cox slaps the wall there on the front stretch. Meanwhile, Eddie Morris now looking down to the inside of Ryan Likens. And this is a battle for the 6th position, which Eddie's going to take away. And he's a man on a mission right now. After getting caught up in that, or getting that speeding on pit road penalty. And then self-spinning it on the restart. Put himself in a hole, caught the caution that he needed. Now he's working his way back up through the field. Meanwhile, Devin Butchino out in front. He's got Sharn Hill right behind. Sharn trying to win here at his local track. Tracy Carter says, good luck, Eddie Morris. Tracy wasn't here before when Eddie had some issues, but now Eddie working his way back through the field after winning the stage, speeding on pit road, and then self-spinning. He's going to look up to the high side of Matt Allen off of turn number 4. He's going to cross him over down into turn number 1. That's a great way to set up the pass here at Richmond. He's going to do that with ease, so move Eddie Morris up into the top 5. Matt Allen, though, trying to fight back on the inside. He starts to slide up the track a little bit. Eddie Morris able to finish the pass there on Matt Allen down into turn number 1. A three-way battle here with Ryan Likens. Oh, Cox gets into the 9 of Riley Gomes. They make heavy contact to the outside wall. They stay green, though. No caution. Heavy damage to the right front of Riley Gomes. After that contact with Cox. And Zachary Cox trying to work around the inside of the injured 9 of Riley Gomes. Again, another incident that probably should have brought out the caution, but did not. And we stay green. Eddie Morris in the 5th position, running down the 3 of Trey Spears. He said after winning the stage that he had plenty of tire left in that truck. So that tells me he's probably going to try to push this one just a little bit more here. Make their way off of turn number 4. We're starting to see the turn 4 starting to rubber up quite a bit off the corner. Same thing with turn number 2. And that's going to start giving a little bit more grip to these drivers as the rubber lays down on the racetrack. As Eddie Morris now taking a look down to the inside of Trey Spears. Now Eddie going to run that high lane, trying to get that run off the corner we've seen him do a couple times here tonight. Just not able to make that move happen. A little further back, we got a battle between Tim Likens and David Hartney. This is a battle for 12th. David Hartney looking down to the inside of the 14. Hartney showed a lot of speed last week at Indianapolis. As this battle continues, the battle for the 3rd spot. I'm sorry, the 4th spot continues between Eddie Morris and Trey Spears. Ooh, Zachary Cox up into the outside wall. Looks like Cox is going to make his way down onto pit road here. So I don't know if that's an unscheduled pit stop or not, if he just had too much damage from the incident earlier with Gomes. As Eddie Morris, yeah, looks like Cox just took the reset there. Eddie Morris and Trey Spears continuing the battle side by side. Eddie now just out in front. He's going to take that position away, so move Eddie Morris up into the 4th position. See Cox down on the apron, allowing these drivers to get on by. Matt Allen now taking a look down to the inside of Trey Spears. Spears not giving up that 5th position as Zachary Cox takes a look down to the inside. Zach did actually get tires there, so he is on fresher tires. And we're seeing just how much different those tires are going to be as the 51 easily gets around the 3 of Trey Spears. Meanwhile, Eddie Morris trying to run down Brian Merle Jr. As Cox tried to make it 3 wide for a second, and Eddie has to back out of it to let the 51 on fresh tires by. Eddie was about to make a move when Zach dove down to the bottom, and Eddie lost his rhythm for a second, but now he's going to go back to the inside of Brian Merle Jr. Oh, Trey Spears into the outside wall off the front bumper of Matt Allen. That's going to allow Kevin Graham to move on by as well. As David Hartney enters pit road. See if we see what happened here between the 3 of Matt Allen and Trey Spears. Oh yeah, looks like Allen just came off the wall there. Got into the 3, and Kevin Graham was able to pass them both here. So more drivers on pit road. We see Matt Allen and Kevin Graham making their way down on the pit road. As Devin Butchino continues to lead, here comes Eddie Morris making another move down to the inside of Brian Merle Jr. So move Eddie up into the third position onto the podium. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence says in the chat, don't count on Junior here. He's usually fast, just doesn't have luck. And no, we're not counting Junior out at all. He is currently still running up in the top 5 in a truck with no sponsorship. Riley Gomes battling here with Tim Likens. Here comes Chuck Balance to the inside. Balance is currently a couple laps down. He was just on pit road, so he's got a little fresher tires. And Devin Butchino leads Sharn Hill by just under a second. And Eddie Morris is another 1.5 seconds behind Sharn Hill. We are just past halfway. Halfway was lap 70. So 63 laps remain in the event. So far, other than the 2 incidents, it's been a pretty good race. We've seen a decent amount of passing, a couple mishaps here and there. As something just happened to Brett Merle, not really sure. Coming down, ooh, looks like he might have got loose there and caught the inside wall. Or had a issue with his wheel or something. He pulls down to the inside. And we see him reset here as he enters pit road. I think Brett Merle might be retiring from the race here as we see Ryan Likens down on pit road, coming to get his service done for tires and fuel. So as you see, Michael Provolone starting to run down the 3 of Trey Spears. Devin Butchino makes his way off of turn number 2, and Sharn Hill's starting to eat into his lead just a little bit. Take a look at the lap times here, and you see the last 2 laps. Take a look at the lap this time by, last 3 laps, Sharn's been just a little bit quicker. As that lead has shrunk down to 0.3 of a second. Sorry, 3/4 of a second. Brian Merle Jr. down on pit road. Michael Provolt following him down onto pit road as well. David Hartnett getting around your leader here on a little bit newer tires. And Sharn Hill starting to slow it back down here. Ryan Gomes makes his way down on the pit road. So I imagine we'll start seeing the rest of these drivers coming down pit road momentarily. Sure, as far as fuel goes, they are good on fuel. It's more of a matter of tire wear at this point. We've given up so much time with tires. At the start of, put it this way, Devin Butchino's best lap was a 21:54. He just ran a 22.77, so about a second a lap to fall off as Eddie Morris now down on pit road, trying not to speed again. And Sharn Hill now, looks like Sharn's going to come down pit road this time. Devin Butchino also making his way down onto pit road. Sharn gains a ton of time there on pit road on Devin Butchino. That's going to give the lead of the race to the 3 of Trey Spears. Eddie Morris down and away. Let's see who's able to get off of pit road first. Well, looks like Devin hit his spot stall perfect. Looks like Sharn may have to back up a little bit because looks like Devin's going to have a ton of speed off of pit road. He's going to make up all that time that Sharn gained on pit road. And now Trey Spears making his way down onto pit road. He's going to give the lead of the race to the 14 of Tim Likens. He's going to stay out to get a lap lead and some bonus points. And Riley Gohm out there currently running P2. I think these drivers are just going to try to gamble, stay out here as long as they can, maybe catch a caution. Ooh, David Hartney right behind was completely sideways. Ryan Likens is around on the backstretch. Caution is out. Oh, Trey Spears makes heavy contact with the 214. That's going to bring out another wreckage rewind. As we take a look to see what happened with Ryan Likens. Looks like he's racing here with Riley Gomes, and Riley catches the 214 off the corner. And Riley holds the clutch down. He doesn't really hit the brakes, and you see the 3 come back across the track. Looks like Trey was just coming off of pit road when that happened. Heavy contact for Trey. He's trying to get up the speed, and he's not expecting that 214 to come back across the track. So, bunch of drivers down on pit road. Riley Gomes getting some damage fixed. Tim Likens on pit road. Matt Allen. Ryan Likens as well after making that hard contact. Looks like Trey Spears still out on the racetrack. He's missing that front end. Going to come down pit road this time. And more than likely take his reset here. Yep, looks like he had the reset available, so he's going to have a brand new truck. And that's going to give the lead of the race back to the 68 of Devin Butchino. But look who's in second place right now. Is Brian Merle Jr. You know what? Let's dial up Junior here and hear what he has to say here coming to this restart here. Hey, Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Oh, thought I pulled him. Let's try this again. Hey, Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, you're going to be restarting in P2 here, right next to Devin. talk us through this restart and what you're going to do here. Going to pull a little Denny Hamlin here, trying to get some positions.
You know, Dev's in that that hot seat for the roll early. No, I just need to be clean. You know, he's obviously the best we got in this this league, and I wanted to come out and have some fun tonight, and that's kind of what I'm having. I'm having a little fun up here, running up front, and qualified well, and I hit a pit strategy right there finally, and got on pit road quick, and got off quick, and you know, just gonna try to hit my marks here and finish this thing out, and try to get a podium, maybe knock a win out.
Well, Michael Lawrence said, Cheeseburger in the chat said, don't count Junior out. He's usually fast, just doesn't have luck. Good luck on this one. Hopefully you got the luck on your side here as you come to this restart. So I'm going to let you get back up to your team.
All right, man. Thank you.
That was your 13 of Brian Merle Jr. That character needs to be unlocked here tonight. As we re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire them. Devin Butcher is going to lead them back down to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing, and a great jump for Devin. Well, Jr. didn't get a bad jump there as he's fending off Eddie Morris and Michael Provolt, who are side by side behind him. That's exactly what Junior wants to see right now as the field makes their way off of turn number 2 and down into turn number 3. This battle continues between Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt. Here comes Sharn Hill up into the mix as well. Sharn wants to get a win here tonight at his home track. He's going to dive it down deep into turn number 1 up on that high side. But Provy's going to be able to hold off on that low side. Now he's not. He's going to tuck in behind the 05 of Sharn Hill to move Hill up into the 4th spot as Eddie Morris starts to roll forward towards that 13 of Brian Merle Jr. We have just 41 laps to go. Further back, Riley Gomes in a new truck here. We got some 3-wide racing. Zachary Cox up on the high side. Trey Hill was in the middle there, and Ryan Likens, or Tim Likens, excuse me, is see Hill going way up the track. Now he's going to come back down. And Brian Merle Jr. getting challenged here for that second position as Eddie Moore is able to roll right on by. Junior, though, thought about making a little bit of a crossover here. He's going to be content just rolling back in that 3rd position for now. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, we've got quite a bit of action. We see Cox to the outside of Gomes as they go down into turn number 1. D. Wright coming into the mix here as well. David Hartney, Matt Allen, Riley Gomes, and Trey Spears all mixed up here in a battle. Gaggle of trucks here down the backstretch. Riley Gomes going to have the position down into turn number 3. David Hartney almost runs up the track there, 3 wide. Hartney was in the middle. He backs out of it. That allows Trey Spears and Matt Allen to go at it. Trey Spears is going to take another move down to the inside. Spears is currently being scored 1 lap down. So he's just trying to battle here to get himself back up into the mix as the hometown favorite, Sharn Hill, moves himself up onto the podium. Here comes Kevin Graham. Graham up into the 6th position, trying to make a move into the top 5 behind Michael Provolt. And Riley Gomes trying to run down Tim Likens. Likens trying to defend here. He's going to run up the track a little bit. That's going to allow Riley Gomes to make move down to the inside. And Likens able to get that launch off the corner, so he's going to stay up into that position as we see Kevin Graham making a move down to the inside of Michael Provolt. Here's a battle for the 5th position. As they come off of turn number 2, Kevin Graham's going to take over that 5th spot. Up front, Eddie Morris trying to run down Devin Butchno. We saw it in the first stint. We're seeing it again here as Eddie Morris a bit quicker than Devin right now. And Kevin Graham trying to run down Brian Merle Jr. to take over that 4th position. Riley Gomes to the outside of Tim Likens. Matt Allen right there in the mix as well. Ooh, David Hartley sideways off of turn number 2. Hartley is not having a good time right now. He is really struggling inside that machine. We'll ride along here with David Hartley. Every time I've seen him come off of turn number 2, it looks like he's got about 30 degrees of steering input to the right here. You see him turn deep down into the corner. As he comes off the corner, yeah, that truck just wants to snap sideways on him. I think what Hartley's fighting right now is what we call a tight, loose condition. The truck is super tight getting into the corner, so he's having to put a lot of wheel in it to get it to turn. Then there's a point where you just have too much wheel in it, and the back end wants to turn around, and you see him just battling it right there off of the corner. So running up on the back bumper of Tim Likens, and again you see that truck just slide out from underneath him. He's trying to do everything he can to get the power down to run down Tim Likens. Hartley though running back in the top 10, currently in the 10th position, having a good run. Kevin Graham trying to run down Sharn Hill. Take a look at the laps here, and Graham's been just a little bit quicker than Hill the last 2 laps. Let's take a look at this lap here, see where that 88 slides in after this lap. Again, quicker, so watch that 88 of Kevin Graham as he's starting to run down that 05, try to get his first podium of the season. Meanwhile, we got, 3 wide as Brian Merle Jr. is making his way down onto pit road. And not sure why he's coming down pit road. Does he have some damage? Doesn't look like he's got any damage. That was a bit of a moment there as Riley Gomes and Michael Provolt were just sideways, or side by side. Here comes Matt Allen coming into this mix here as well. Allen really loose there off of turn number 4, able to hold on to it. He's going to slide back. Meanwhile, David Hartley making a move down underneath the 14 of Tim Likens, but not able to get the power down on the low side. That's going to allow Likens to get the run back on the high side. Hartley uses that apron, trying to get a little bit of turn out of the truck. And here comes Ryan Likens, who is a couple laps down to the outside of the 43. So less than 25 laps to go, coming to 23 laps to go when they cross the line this time. And Eddie Morris running down Devin Butchno. Not just that, but Sharn Hill trying to make his way back into the mix as Kevin Graham also trying to get into position here as we got a battle between Matt Allen and Michael Provolt. Ooh, almost some contact there between Provy and Allen. So this is a battle heating up for the 6th position. As Eddie is now there. He is less than 0.3 of a second behind Devin Butchno. Now that interval falls back to 3.6. Let's take a look at lap times for our leaders here. Kevin Graham is actually running a faster lap time right now than Devin Butchino. There's Sharon Hill's been running a little faster than Butchino as well. Of course, we've seen Eddie Morris was running down Butchino. Now he's lost a little bit of speed. Did not work out the way I wanted it to. So with coming to 16 laps to go, our top four gonna be looks like it's gonna be a 3-truck battle for the race win between Eddie Morris, Devin Butchino, and Sharon Hill. And don't count out Kevin Graham. He's been pretty quick here as well. He's been trying to run down Devin Butchino back in the 4th spot. 15 laps to go. Great view from the iRacing blimp. So we see these 3 trucks pretty much under a blanket here for our podium, 3 podium positions. And Kevin Graham back in the 4th position. Pull away from Riley Gomes. He is about 2 seconds now behind Sharon Hill, but he's 2.5 seconds behind ahead of Riley Gomes as Riley Gomes gets passed by Matt Allen. We see Ryan Lincoln's going by as well. There's Eddie Morris looking at the lap times here. Been trading off lap times with Devin Butchino as well as Sharon Hill. As we are quickly coming to 10 laps to go. Of course, we know Eddie is locked in, as he mentioned earlier. But he's still out there trophy hunting, trying to get a couple more wins under his belt. Nine laps to go. And we stay pretty even here for our top 3. Also, no real battles out on the racetrack right now as well, so it's kind of what Devin is hoping for right now, is to keep it green to the end. Ever it's short track racing and anything can happen. Because now Eddie's starting to apply the pressure to Devin Butchino as he's starting to reel in that 68 in the closing laps. Coming to 7 laps to go. Eddie following right there in the tire tracks of Devin Butchino. Now within 3 car lengths of that 68. Devin could see him in the mirror inching closer. That time Devin had a much better launch off of turn 4, and Eddie lost a ton of time as he falls back towards Sharn Hill just a little bit. Now you see the interval between Sharn and Eddie is now about 2 truck lengths. He gets a little loose there off of turn number 2. We are coming to 5 laps to go. Well, Devin's turned on the afterburners because he's now pulled out to over a half-second lead again on Eddie Morris. Eddie may have burned up his stuff trying to run down that 68. Now he's fallen into the clutches of Sharn Hill. Coming to 4 laps to go. Here Eddie just not able to get back to the throttle as easily as he once was. Three laps to go here. And he's cut that lead back down now. Devin is giving up 0.2 of a second on Eddie Morris. That's what it looks like from the blimp, how close this battle is with 2 laps to go. Can Eddie get there with 2 laps? Now it's one thing to get there, it's another thing to get on by. As they come down the backstretch, these 3 trucks almost nose to tail as they come off of turn number 4. One more lap to go here at Richmond. Devin Butchno down into turn number 1, trying to stay out in front of Eddie Morris. Trying to hit his lines perfectly for one more set of corners. Down into turns 3 and 4. Off the corner, Eddie giving it one last run off of turn number 4. But Devin Butchno is going to get the win. Eddie Morris comes home in second. And Sharn Hill brings it home in third here tonight. What a great finish here as Dev gets his 41st victory here in the SCSRA. That's across both series. Where he's going to make his way down to the start-finish line for the ceremonial top 3 picture. Now Devin Butchno is going to burn it down here on the front stretch. He's going to do his Polish victory lap here. Tracy Carter says, good job, Eddie, as Eddie comes home in position number 2. And while Devin runs around the track backwards, let's take a look at our finishing order. And Devin Butchno getting the win. Eddie Morris comes home in second. Sharn Hill third. Kevin Graham and Matt Allen round out your top 5. Michael Provolt brings it home in 6th. Riley Gomes 7th. Tim Likens, David Wright, and Ryan Gomes round out your top 10. 11th was Zachary Cox. Brian Merle Jr. comes home 12th. Trey Spears in 13th. Chuck Balance 14th. Ryan Likens 15th. David Hartney and Brett Merle round out the field here tonight at Richmond, as Devin's going to go right through the painted surfaces there on the grass. He's going to go look for Victory Lane here, see if he can, I guess that is Victory Lane, isn't it, right there? So we get ready to talk to our top 3. We'll set our cameras here as we always do. And we'll talk to our 3rd place finisher, Sharn Hill. Hey, Sharon, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Oh, Sharon, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Man, great run for you here tonight, coming home in third. I know this is your home track here tonight. You wanted to get it done, but man, a podium finish is nothing to shake a stick at as well, especially with this competition. Walk us through that final run there, because it looked like you were trying to save your tires there to get a run at the end. And at one point, you were a little bit quicker than Eddie and Devin, but just weren't able to finish it off there.
Man, so my biggest mistake that last green flag pit cycle, I slid through my box. I was trying to chase Devin down in the wrong spot, slid right through my box, and I think that cost me the race. Because me and Devin were so close together, and Eddie was too. I know he had a speeding penalty, and that pretty much cost it. I wasn't ever really fast enough, obviously, to make up that difference. So can't make mistakes like that, especially with those two.
Yeah, I saw you gain a ton of time on Devin coming into the pits and lost it all by sliding through your pit stall. Does that is that going to play into tomorrow night as well? Are you going to think about that a little bit more, getting in your pit stall tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta stay focused. I felt like I was focused. I just gotta stay smart. Um, I think tomorrow night, hopefully, there's gonna be a lot of green flag runs. I hope, I pray. And it's not all made up in one moment, but it can be lost in one moment. So I'm just gonna stay smooth, stay consistent. I feel like the line that I have with the truck and the cup car will allow me to be competitive and compete with the win. I just can't blow it all in 1 second.
Yeah, just a handful of cautions here tonight. Didn't really hurt or favor you in any way, shape, or form. Did that kind of surprise you? I know it was a bit of a smaller field, but it's Richmond. I know a lot of times it's real easy to self spin off of turn four. Were you kind of hoping for a caution there at the end, try to run these two down?
So there was a time midway through the last run where I felt like maybe if Eddie could catch up to Devin and they race each other, it'd bring me right back in. Um, was I hoping for a caution? Not exactly, but it wouldn't have hurt me necessarily. I feel like depending on where Devin would have decided to restart, or whoever would have been leading at the time decided to restart, that could have made a difference on where I would have finished. If the leader would have started on the high side, might have got trapped behind second. That happened earlier in the race. I think the first caution, I was third or something, and I got tracked behind Trey and fell back to fifth, and it was hard to make that back up. So third place, considering the mistakes that I made, I can't complain about. A caution might have helped, it might have hurt.
Well, regardless, having a great run here tonight, finishing on the podium at your home track. And before we let you go, Sharon, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Usual suspects, family, friends that watch, my girlfriend, everybody, that supports me from day one to now. Can't thank them enough. Hope to be interviewed, hopefully win tomorrow night and make them proud.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. Good luck tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Hope to see you soon.
Have a great night.
You too.
That was your third place finisher, Sharon Hill. Let's bring in your second place finisher tonight, Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. One position short, but man, looked like you had some speed trying to run down Devin, and he'd pull back away from you. Then you'd run him back down. Sharon was fast there at the end as well. Talk us through that last run, and what was going through your mind as you were trying to race both the driver in front of you and behind you?
Well, as you were talking to me earlier, I got that speeding penalty on pit road there, and that set me back all the way to the back of the pack. So after driving through the pack, and trying to catch Devin, once I got P3, P4, somewhere around in there, it really stalled off, and I ended up starting to lose time to him, and everybody else was pitting, and I'm like, I mean, got a stage win, locked in. What else do I have to lose? Let's try it out, see how it works out for us. And then I still had another set left over just in case the caution did come out. So like we were good there. So I didn't feel like I would be at any kind of tire disadvantage. So we pulled the trigger. It worked out pretty well. I don't know. I lose focus, man. Some sometimes, I mean, if you ever been in the Discord with me and stuff, I've got a mute button programmed, and sometimes I just don't get to it fast enough, and I just lose focus, man, and then I feel like a damn yo-yo because I had it like point 0.6, Devin was in front of me, and then I got it down to point 0.3, and then I'd lose focus and back up to point 0.6, I'd get him again, and then there at the end, man, it was just your arm gets tired, after you start pulling that yo-yo up so many times. It gets tiring. So the tires, they were tired. See what I did there? But yeah, it was a fun race, man. It was a lot cleaner than what I thought it was. So congratulations to everybody that was here tonight. Really proud of that. It's a short track. Wasn't like it was a huge caution fest. Everybody, for the most part, seemed pretty respectful. So again, congratulations to the league as a whole. That was pretty fun racing. Shout out to Dave for the win, man.
Yeah, we saw you lose a little bit of focus on that restart there too. I don't know if you just saw someone spinning out in front of you and you wanted to go join them, or if you had some issues on that restart as well. But you're able to catch the
Oh, no,
caution
I
and get
knew.
yourself back up through the back up there. What happened on that restart? Was it just a little overzealous there?
Well, I think that was the first lap of green when we were coming back out of 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was your
Pretty
first
sure.
lap coming off
Yeah,
the floor.
after the caution. Yeah, I seen. I think it was Riley Gomes up there sideways, and I just kind of panic hit my brakes. And um, if you've ever messed around with some of the settings on these things that you can still do even in a fixed, like brake bias, steering ratio, stuff like that. I mess with mine pretty heavily, and when I hit the panic brake like I did, because it's a short track, man. Like you know, you get nervous. Sometimes it's a lot of caution, sometimes it's not. So I panic and hit my brakes, and the back end of the truck just went around. I was just glad for everybody that it didn't cause a caution. Was able to get it going back straight, and luckily Riley and I were saved by a caution. Um, I even keyed up and I was like, "Yo, bro, we really we dodged one there, didn't we?" So yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, man, it was a fast truck.
Well, you had some support in the chat here tonight. Tracy was watching, wished you luck, and said good job at the end there. So again, congratulations on the runner-up position. And before you go, Eddie, anyone you want to thank, a shout you got to give here tonight?
Oh yeah, Tracy, that's my mama. So appreciate her watching. Shout out to Intensity. Was it Intensity Sports Apparel? What is it?
Intensity Apparel and Broadcasting.
Intensity Apparel and Broadcasting. Man, so much there. So if y'all are looking for any of that sort of stuff, broadcasting for these iRacing leagues like you watch, and a lot of cool merchandise up there on that website, go check them out, man, and definitely get some gear, some merch. It's got some Atlee Atman Weese's stuff in there, I know for sure. So go pick that up and support him. Shout out to Dev Sports Cards, and of course shout out to Josh, man. We can't leave you out of that, the whole intensity thing. Shout out to Dev Sports Cards. If you're looking for any kind of sports memorabilia cards, anything like that, check him out on eBay at Dev Sports Cards. I'm sure there's a damn holiday coming up somewhere. You can go buy something for somebody. Somebody's probably got a birthday or something. It's always nice to get cards, collectibles, stuff that may be worth more later on in life. So that's good. Go check him out at Dev Sports Cards. Shout out to Morris Customs for these sweet paints that I run every week. Appreciate everybody on the team. Of course, shout out to Dev for the win tonight. Shout out to Hartney. Shout out to D-Wright. Shout out to Joe, even though he wasn't here tonight. Damn slacker. He's on vacation, on a well-deserved vacation with his family. So I hope he's having a lot of fun. So shout out to him. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody here tonight because it was a fairly clean race, a lot cleaner than what I thought. So shout out to the league. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get my long-winded ass out of here and let you talk to the winner.
Yeah, and you forgot that really important holiday that's coming up in June that a lot of people like to get sports memorabilia for. Father's Day is coming up.
Oh yeah. See, I told you, man. I told you some holiday was coming up. I'm sure Mother's Day's coming up
It
and
is May.
stuff like that. So so hey, moms like stuff like that too. So
That's true. So yeah, there you go. Check them all out. Eddie, I appreciate it. Again, congratulations on the runner-up spot. Good luck tomorrow night, and I'll try to stay out of your way. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Appreciate you, brother. Good luck tomorrow.
Have a great night. That was your second place finisher, Eddie Morris. Let's bring in your winner here tonight for his 41st career SCSRA win, Devin Butchno. Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, brother.
Man, fast truck here tonight. Looks like you kind of faded and then started to speed back up and then fade again. And I don't know if that was you just watching the times and trying to cool the tires off a little bit or what, but walk us through that last run there. You had Eddie and Sharn gaining on you pretty quickly, and you're able to hold them both off.
Yeah, I don't think I ran a single lap looking out of the windshield those last 50 laps. This has just kind of been the theme here at Richmond. Pretty much the last 3 races we've been here. We won 2 next gen races and then tonight, but Eddie by far has had the better long run speed, the better car, the better truck, and we just been able to flip him somehow, some point in the race. One of them was a restart. Today he had an issue on pit road. But yeah, it felt weird not having long run speed because I was trying to take it easy. But with those guys, harping down on you, you can't help but look at the relative. You can't help but look at the rearview mirror. So definitely had to drive it harder than I wanted to, just because I didn't want to give up the lead. The first stage, Eddie didn't fall off enough for what I thought. I didn't think I'd be able to get him back. So I knew I had to push the truck hard. Knew I had to keep him behind me. But I was just not rotating the center of 1 and 2. He was rotating the exit of 2 really well. He'd gain a couple tenths or a tenth, and I would get him back in 4 that same lap, the next lap. But yeah, they kept me on my toes. I mean, even Sharn too. I mean, at the end of that run before the pit stops, we had a good pit stop, which was important because he was keeping right up with us on the long run, and I just think it was the way I was driving it. I could not get the back of the truck to sit down on entry, so we really had to back it up more than those guys were. Something I've struggled every time I come here. And thankfully today it was just enough to hold him off, but definitely did not have the best truck. Just had the best track position at the end.
Speaking of that final pit stop, coming in, you see Sharn gain a ton of positions or time on you coming into pit road. I know he slid his box a little bit, but what's going through your mind as you saw how much time he gained on you coming on the pit road?
Yeah, I mean, that's another area that I really need to practice as well, because if you look back at the Auto Club Next Gen race, he went from a second and a half to like 3 car lengths off me getting in pit road, and I'm just too cautious, and races are won and lost there. Something I got to work on more in practice probably. I take it overly cautious, but I'm happy I did because this is a tricky track. I mean, it's right at the start of the wall, and it's a really tough entrance. But yeah, man, Sharn's been able to cook it on pit road and cook it, but not cook it. Yeah, you definitely see the light blue come up behind you in the rear view, and you definitely get a little bit more white knuckle. But we had a good stop. I was really hoping it would go green after that. We had a pretty good gap there, but we were able to survive that last caution and hold those guys off.
Well, next week we move on to your home track, lefts and rights up at Watkins Glen. How do you like your chances there at the old road course?
Statistically, across all my leagues, most wins there out of any track. It's just even from like literally the NASCAR Thunder 03 days, the laps that I have combined on sim and video games, if you want to separate them. I mean, on iRacing alone, if there's a way to find it, I'm sure I have, thousands of laps there. It's just really fun track, man. Me and Eddie did the 6 hours there in the BMWs last year. That was a blast. You know how it is. It's your home track, man. You want to be fast there. It doesn't matter if we're sitting here at our desks. You still want to win at your home tracks. And thankfully for me, I have like 3 of them between New Hampshire, Watkins Glen. Probably not Dover, but I love that place, man. I think it's God's road course. I think it's perfect for these cars. The tires are going to stick on, and it should be some really good racing. I'm really excited. We're going to put some laps in for sure. Definitely want to show up and show out there.
Well, good luck next week at Watkins Glen. Look forward to the race there. Good luck tomorrow night in the Next Gen Series. And, of course, before we let you go, Devin, anyone you think, anyone shout you got to give here tonight?
I want to thank you, Josh, everyone at Intensity. I think the monkey's off our back after the wreck at Daytona on lap 1, because we've done pretty darn good at Dover and Richmond in this truck. So just appreciate everyone over there coming on board, being the title sponsor for this truck series, everyone that makes it what it is. Had a strong field tonight. A lot of part-timers showing up, put on a really good show, clean show. If that can transfer over tomorrow, that'd be awesome. Got to thank Morse Customs. If you need any schemes done, doesn't matter what the car, what the color, Eddie's the guy to do it. You can find him everywhere. I definitely cannot do him justice as to what he just did for Dev Sports Cards. I don't even think I have to say Dev Sports Cards. Um, but yeah, thank you, Josh. Level Up Subs, New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design, you for taking the time to do this. And yeah, man, it's been a really good season. And, I appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And good luck tomorrow night in the Next Gen Series. And good luck next week at Watkins Glen. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Hopefully, I appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow as well.
Have a good one.
You too, brother.
So there you have it. Your winner here tonight at Richmond International Raceway. That's going to do it for us here tonight from Richmond on Intensity Broadcasting. We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out our great partners listed down below, including Race API, The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs, as well as our web store at Intensity Racing and Apparel. Intensity Racing for Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel. And we appreciate you all for joining us. Tune in next week for Watkins Glen. It's going to be great going left and right at the road course. And for everybody here at Intensity Broadcasting, and for our man Atlee, Atman Weiss, what he would say is over and out.